And welcome back to the main stage for the final match in the quarterfinals round of the COE 2025 1v1 LAN tournament. We've got a couple of truly world-class tournament players up on the stage. We've got, coming from Germany, Criller going up against the #1 player in the world, hailing from Australia, mrekk. And I am Miles, and joining me here on the couch is Mr. Dada.
Hi, Miles. How excited are you for today's matchup between what is arguably the best player this game has ever seen versus one of the best players this LAN event has seen historically, former champion of COE, and right now, like, just an amazing tournament player, extremely well-rounded in Criller.
Well, I mean, right now, quite honestly, this is quarterfinals. This feels like a finals match. It could be a finals match in any other tournament, open rank, 1v1, 4v4. These two players are mainstays you will see in late stage of any tournament. They're both incredibly skilled. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that. I mean, mrekk, he's putting Osu on the map for things that people can't fathom, and Criller just... He's the German hero right now, the only one remaining in the tournament. He needs to do well here for the people in the crowd. He's the hometown hero. You're going to hear the crowd going crazy for him in this match, and he's just so incredible, and I'm really excited, Dada.
It's a match that will be very curious because obviously you look mrekk up and down, his 5'6" frame, you don't really see like a weakness. He's very much like one of the best players in the game, has almost no like specific weaknesses you can pinpoint, but Criller in turn has some weaknesses. You know he has some weaknesses, but his strengths may be able to just penetrate the armor of mrekk on those specific skill sets. So this will be a match where Criller tries to specialize, tries to go into that hidden pool, tries to go into those more controlly maps, Hard Rock 2, Hard Rock 1 maybe, Nomad 4, Nomad 5, maybe Nomad 3, and mrekk will try to out-mechanic the opponent. So mrekk will try to abuse that speed, Criller apparently won the row, so he will get the second protect, and he will choose his order of bans. So let's see it in action. We are not protecting the tiebreaker. Don't worry.
We'd love to. We'd love to.
I
We
mean,
haven't had a tiebreaker yet.
Technically, it is protected forever, but...
Yeah, it's true. You can't ban out the tiebreaker. Yeah, what do you think of these bans? Because you mentioned Criller to go into some of those control-y picks. What do you think mrekk is going to ban into him?
I think mrekk, he will likely ban one of the hiddens, whatever is not protected between Hidden 2 and Hidden 3, because Criller had an amazing performance on Hidden 3, and he was just practicing it, as we saw. However, the second ban is something that we discussed before the match. We don't really know. mrekk can choose whatever he's feeling less comfortable on. He can go into something like Nomad 4, but he had an amazing score on Nomad 4. He can go into something like HR2. mrekk protected HD3, is that correct?
mrekk protected HD3. It looks like we're having another situation just like in the Bubble Man match. I cannot believe that mrekk just protected HD3 because Criller has the top score of the week so far on that map.
And Criller protected first death, which I believe mrekk is really good at. Or is it Malishevsky?
Yeah, Kriller's very good at first death.
Yes.
That makes sense. I think he's the #2 score right now on the main sheet if you look at the stats. So yeah, mrekk protecting my dearest nightmare. We're gonna be tracking that map throughout the match because that is insane to me.
No surprises. Criller banning immediately everything will freeze. That slightly more stamina mechanics in the Hard Rock pool, not really his specialty. mrekk immediately follows by banning Hidden 2. And United being the second ban of Criller, again, not really unexpected in the slightest. He really wants to ban all of those speedy maps. However, he'll have to play one, which is Super Nuka World. Meanwhile, mrekk, again, he banned Hidden 2. He used his protect on Hidden 3. So we really don't know what he's going to ban.
Yeah, and that's going to be a question mark here. He would ban, I think, a control-y pick, something maybe like the Nomad 5 or the Hard Rock 2, one of the KTG stir maps. but also potentially a tech pick, which I say that could be a ban. He does actually have the #1 score on Nomad 4 right now, which is honestly optically hell for Criller. Like, because Criller will pivot to those tech picks as the match goes on, I think. But he's going to ban out the Nomad 2 instead.
This is interesting because Criller did play that Nomad 2 versus Flying Tuna, and I believe he did not have a very good time, especially in the second half of the map. So it's an interesting ban, probably just banning a map he's not very comfortable in. He doesn't want to play, and he's immediately heading toward that very very confident pick in Super Nuka World. He should be hugely favored on this map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mrekk, the #1 player in the world, the best DT player in the world. He is going to go into Super Nuka World, the fastest map remaining in the pool.
As both players are in the lobby. We can see that from both of the monitors from here, and we are getting ready to begin the final match of the quarterfinal stage here at COE, here at Brabanthallen. Make some noise for both of these players as we start the match. Both players are loading in.
Yep, looks like loading.
Loading still. Oh. Criller has a little loading screen that's spinning. Yeah.
Yep, he's showing us.
That.
Oh, don't move your monitor. You're in.
Abort, abort,
Okay,
abort,
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 abort.
Abort.
Timeout, timeout,
Timeout on the field.
timeout. Well, there was an extremely long loading screen, and Criller turned his monitor to show us, so to abort the map. And then the map started, which is very bad timing. But we will get a second try at this. Little false start, always
5-yard penalty.
This is Europe, they won't get that joke.
Okay.
All right, good luck, have fun. Golf, as the kids say. And we are getting back loading in both monitors, and okay, just wait. Let's just wait. Criller has the same little loading thing, but let's wait this time.
Patience is key.
Patience, young Padawan.
Definitely keeping us on the edge of our seats here, looking between both monitors if it wants to start soon.
This is a real tennis match because we're just looking left and right over and over. There we go.
Okay, we're in. Super Nuka World. mrekk's first pick. 190 BPM with DT.
Immediately we see a lot of that accuracy. mrekk clearly a lot more comfortable in this speed, in this 290 BPM range, 280 BPM range. So Criller will have a very early act deficit. mrekk almost on that 99, still hasn't broken. Criller has a little bit of an early hiccup here, but the lead is, well, it looks just visually very big because of the percentage of the score. However, Criller will find a break. mrekk will trade on the beginning of the Kiai. So both players in the same combo. However, the act is just there's just such a big act difference.
And as we've been learning throughout the week, act means so much in laser scoring. I mean, you could even have such a dominating combo over your opponent, but if you're just a few accuracy percentages behind, then you're really not going to have too much of a chance in the map. You need to be playing at least close to your opponent, because you can see, even though mrekk and Criller's combos have been fairly even throughout the map, mrekk has such a massive lead because of the accuracy. 98 is so strong from him, 6% over the 92 of Criller.
It is such an interesting map because we've seen this map get banned a lot because it is sort of the more extreme of this sort of skill set. However, this play from Criller is not bad. This would get him by in most matches, but against mrekk is just not enough. mrekk is just way too comfortable on this map. So obviously just a very strong early pick from mrekk, getting the momentum going very, very quickly.
And he is just going off on this long stream here. He gets through it all. Still holding on to that combo, 900 and rising now, still 98%. And this is probably the best score of the weekend on this so far.
And he doesn't
Gets
miss
through
the
that.
sliders.
Incredible
oh my god,
stuff.
he still has combo heading into the final Ki. This might be one of the best scores we've seen thus far on Super Nuka World, as he's not even close to breaking thus far. Over 1,000 combo and going. We go to the end of the map. Obviously, the pick has been secured. However, we are just holding and seeing if he gets that very nice combo, very nice play coming from mrekk, as the map will finish and he will secure that play. Very nice, very nicely done, as he takes the first point with a very, very good showing.
Yeah, dominant fashion on that one. mrekk only having the miss on the first long stream going into the first KI section. 900K from him, almost 98%. And that is nigh unbeatable by anyone in this tournament. Maybe Dinarek if he FCs, but that is an incredible score from mrekk. And now criller must respond in kind. He's got a bunch of maps in this pool against mrekk. As we mentioned earlier, we think some of the aim control-y maps could be good for him. Maps like the Nomad 5, perhaps the Nomad 3, Hard Rock 2, Hidden 3, all could be good picks for criller. But as we mentioned, mrekk doesn't really have a weakness, so you kind of just have to choose what you're most confident on, choose what you're best at. And so far this week, criller has been unbeaten on the Hidden 3, top of the leaderboard on that, so we think that could be a pick for him. But mrekk did kind of protect that map.
Criller is currently staring at the map pool, but basically, that's the big problem in this match. mrekk has very clear ways of getting in and getting points. Criller has to challenge every single pick, because every single pick, mrekk has a good enough score to maybe beat him if he doesn't play 100%. So that's the real challenge criller has in this match. mrekk has very easy ways to establish momentum, establish his confidence, just put his stuff and play his stuff and just get it done. However, criller, every single pick is going to be a struggle. So let's see what he chooses. Little backstage knowledge. He was practicing Let's Jump. He was practicing Hidden 3. He was practicing Nomad 4. So let's see if any of those maps are on the table for him. However, HD3 is a protect for mrekk, so we don't know what the mind games are there.
Nomad
he will
5.
pick Nomad 5 as his first option, which is probably one of his best ones.
Yeah, I think this is a great pick for criller here. KTG stirs definitive aim control style, CS5, with the very difficult snappy triangles in the map. It's just, I think it's a pick that suits criller very well. There is some subtle finger control in this map, but nothing that's going to be out of criller's wheelhouse in terms of tapping. So I think it should be a good pick for him. And this pick, I've seen it so much this weekend, original by Doomsday, mapped by KTG Stir, Zoodinator background. It's just a big original project for COE, and it's great.
It's an absolutely amazing song and just an amazing project in general for this COE experience. Getting an original with a storyboard, with custom art in the background, just absolutely incredible stuff from the guys, both in organizing the map pool and in actually organizing the custom itself.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting into the map as Nomad 5 starts, and criller with the slight early act lead, still holding on to that double S. However, mrekk not far behind. Neither player has broken combos just yet. This map gets tougher in the rhythm section, especially later on. The control is just something that you have to keep in mind will only increase over the duration of the map.
Decent amount of flow aim in this one as well, but nothing out of the wheelhouse of either of these players. We get through the first quarter of the map, the first KI section. It's looking good for both players, still holding on to their FCs. Criller slightly ahead on the accuracy, still doing incredible things right now, honestly. Let's see if he gets caught by any of the slowdowns in this section. Have to have finger control and aim control on point for these slowdowns, or else you risk finding a miss. But both of these guys are going insane right now. 99% from both players. mrekk just finally dropping in 100 to go below. And here we go into the chill section. Storyboard picks up. See if any of these players get frozen out. An act drop from criller, but still in the lead with accuracy. I can't believe we have 2 FCs on this going into the halfway point. Oh. Finally, a break from criller, and that's going to give mrekk a massive lead on this section.
Just over-aiming the start of that little double there. Not very good. This is still like a very comboable section for mrekk, so he's just going to run away with this lead for now. However, he has many chances to break so far. This map only gets tougher as it goes on.
Yeah, but mrekk looking so poised right now. His aim so snappy. He has no difficulty aiming to any of these notes as he gets through it. FC still intact through these snaps and into another slow section. mrekk is just going to run away with this lead here.
So far, so good. Criller finding another break. This might be our first breakpoint in this match, and it's what we talked about. Just absolutely insane difficulty trying to actually get mrekk to respect you on anything, because he just has almost no weaknesses, if any. And he's still on that FC. Oh!
Finally finds the drop.
I'm so sorry.
and he's getting through that section. And now here's the most difficult section of the map. This ending gets incredibly intense. It's already a foregone conclusion for mrekk at this point. He's going to take the break point, but can he hit this ending? Can he lock out an insane play on this Nomad 5? Oh, and he finds the drop, finding a couple breaks on that triangle. And it's going to be the early break point for the Australian.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not enough combo for Criller to bring it back. However, again, this is an amazing play from Criller, but the combo breaks, very unfortunate. If he didn't have those combo breaks, would have very likely had a real shot at taking this pick, but again, it's just so hard. Getting into this match, he has to know every single pick of his is going to be this struggle.
Criller had the accuracy too, 98.6, had the lead over mrekk by an entire percent, but just not having the combo, mrekk outdoing him there, and it's going to be enough. If breaks had come earlier from mrekk, he would have been able to take that back, but having mrekk have to miss is not the place you want to put yourself in ever in this matchup, so unfortunately for Criller, dropping that early break point, and now mrekk back to his pick. He is completely out of speed, but there are still maps that I think he can use against Criller here, and I'm looking at Let's Jump in the DT pool. I'm looking at maybe Nomad 1, maybe the Hard Rock 1 as well.
Hard Rock 1, I think Criller would be a little bit more competent on than the other two options. However, he will opt for that DT3, which isn't exactly fully mechanics. This is more of a flow aim test on that extremely high AR. And as we noted on the pregame, Criller was actually practicing this map on a lower AR to get used to the patterns and get used to what he needs to do on the map. So I think that's very smart coming from him. And will that help him right now to get a breakpoint potentially? We'll see.
Yeah, beating mrekk on Let's Jump is a bit of a tall task. This guy is really good at flow aim, really good at high approach rate, so it seems. And he's going to be lethal on this map. Going into the start, this map starts off pretty slowly. You don't want to find any combo breaks in about the first 400x before we end up in the first Ki section where the flow aim gets really intense. Until then, should be holding on to FCs.
Still, so far, so good. Criller will find the first break going into the first kind of drop here. However, mrekk is still very, very comfortable. A little bit on the lower accuracy, however, the combo is still there.
Into this Buzz Slider section soon. Possible to find a break here. Criller finds one, mrekk holds on.
It's still just looking so comfortable for mrekk. Criller, again, everybody in this tournament who's been playing this map has been having massive struggles. And honestly, besides Nate, Secret Box, and mrekk, this kind of map is so hard, and like people are just getting like lower scores, but you're against mrekk, like he can just do this. And he's still holding combo on that 99% still.
Yeah, Let's Jump. It just belongs to the Australians. Only those two have been able to play this map very well. And here we go into the first flow aim section. Criller instantly finds a break, and now it's all on mrekk. The follow point streams come in, but he is comboing all of them. No trouble at all from him.
He is still holding. What is this man on?
He's just going crazy, I guess. That's God mode. Gets through the first section with the FC, something only his fellow countrymen did.
Oh no!
Finally finds the break on that stream, but he's done a great job. Already 100K in the lead. And there's not really too much combo from Criller to fight back. He's down by a percent. He's got 370 combo. He got through that pattern, so he's going to start to whittle down this lead very slowly but surely. But he needs to see more breaks from mrekk, and that's one that he definitely needed, but he needs to hold on through this section too. He needs to get to the next slow part. He needs to consolidate some combo, get some score back, because he's still 80K in the hole, and on laser scoring, that's a lot.
The lead is coming right back though. With that combo, Criller has managed a very good combo so far, and we'll soon find a slow part where he can get even more.
Gets through.
As we head into the break, Criller's gonna see that. He's gotta be cautious, he's gotta control his nerves, and see that he has a 400 combo lead and a nice chance to take this map if he holds.
And he's going to get some free combo here. The map, after this slow part, it gets intense again very quickly, but for the meantime, he will have some free combo to get up to about 750 or 800 or so in these slow sliders.
There is a build-up section right after this. However, the end chorus, the end ki is quite tough. So I'm not sure he can do it, but if there's any man who can do it, it is Criller. This man has pulled magic out of the hat before. And this might be just a case of where he needs to do it again.
One of the strongest players in the world, one of the most consistent tourney players. He needs to hold on this flow aim section. He needs more breaks from mrekk. He gets through that section into the flow aim once again. Can he hold?
He's holding, but the lead, it's not going back fast enough.
He
finds the drop. Meanwhile, mrekk is still comboing through that last drop. Still, oh.
Yeah, mrekk finding the break, but he's in a good spot now. The traded combos, the accuracy lead, 80K of score lead. mrekk is going to coast into the ending of Let's Jump and get his third pick on the board.
Again, just this play from Criller is absolutely insane. The combo he got would have beaten so many people, but this is not just a person. This is a robot. This is an alien that he's playing.
Yep, he just came down from his UFO and landed in the Netherlands. Brabanthallen, Area 51. It is mrekk.
You know the joke is good when Poon laughed in our headsets.
Yep, mrekk. 3-0, consolidating on his breakpoint on Let's Jump. Pressure's on now for Criller. Needs to convert on this next pick. Cannot let mrekk go up 4-0 against you.
Both amazing scores, but the momentum is squarely in mrekk's favor. And again, Criller needs to find that little avenue in. He needs to establish his presence, establish his momentum, get a map where he can get that good play, get the consistency flowing, get the comfort right there so that he can establish himself in the match and potentially get some breakpoints, because mrekk has run out of the DTs. He has run out of his extreme edge in this match. So he needs to chin up, just be confident, pick something that he's comfortable in, and just get the ball rolling, at least with 1 point.
Yeah, the punish picks are gone, but there's still momentum that needs to be settled. And if he doesn't win this next pick, if he goes down 4-0, it's going to be really grim for him here in his opportunity to get to the semifinals. Taking his time on this next pick, looking over at his monitor, it's still on Let's Jump, so still making sure he's ready for this next map. And it looks like, judging from the monitor, we know what this next pick will be. We'll wait for it to show up on your screen. It is going to be Hidden 3, so mrekk's Protect, picked by Criller.
What a weird turn of events. mrekk's Protect, Criller's best score, Criller's pick. Just several layers of mind games and not mind games going on here that I don't even know what's real, what's not, what's trolling, what's extreme strategy. I just don't understand. But this is a very good pick for Criller in theory. So putting aside the Protect, it is something that Criller would eventually pick very early on in the match, regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as peasants, we aren't going to be able to understand the mind games of these top players. They know their strategies. They're executing them before our eyes, but can only guess exactly what they are. So this Hidden 3, as we said, should be good for Criller, and he absolutely needs to win this. So hope for him he can get his act together, get a point on the board here against mrekk, who is looking so primed to win this match as of right now.
Absolutely. He's established the momentum very, very well as they get into the map. My Dearest Nightmare is extremely weird, technical, horror kind of song with extreme jankiness and weirdness in the flow, in the wiggles, in the cheese spots that they need to do. It's very, very complicated, and it's a map usually that Criller really shines on. These kinds of weird maps, these maps that nobody really is comfortable in, this guy is the guy that has the comfort in those maps. So let's see if mrekk's Protect will actually turn out to be Criller's benefit.
And if he takes this, he's still got First Death, which is protected. That's another map that he's very strong on. So he definitely still has weapons in this match. He just needs to get some momentum, and he has to get it here. It's a big act lead out of the beginning. 4% in favor of Criller as we get into an intense section. These wiggles are really difficult to contend with. We find many people breaking on them, and there goes criller finding a drop. mrekk matches it. Now the accuracy will take over. It's 10K in favor of criller at the 1/3 mark.
This map is so tough. Just even looking at it, you don't know what's real, you don't know what's not, you don't know what's tough, you don't know what's not, because there's so many little details that everyone can get wrong and miss. But both players have been making it through this section unscathed. Criller has the lead, has the combo lead as well, and is slightly on the accuracy.
They both get through that difficult pattern.
Through the spin around pattern, and it looks to be pretty good for criller if the status quo maintains itself.
Can't afford to drop accuracy though. mrekk is right on his tail.
And everyone gets through those wiggles. We've seen people get tripped up by those before. As we enter what I believe is the section right before the break. Nobody missing yet. It's so tense right now as criller finds
goes
the break
down.
and finds the break again. mrekk is still holding combo. Now he has the lead.
Yeah, these wiggles are so brutal. They've caught out so many players throughout the week, but mrekk holding on with his combo. He gets through that cut stream.
He gets through the cut stream.
And the buzz sliders too.
Oh my
1K
god.
combo for mrekk.
1K combo at the break through the hardest part of the map. He will get yet another breakpoint from this.
As long as he can hold on just a little longer, because criller still has the act, he needs to hold just a bit more for the score lead to become undestructible.
And it's just this slow section, and the density is really at the very end. There's really not much criller can do, but hope mrekk has a brain fart. And I don't think he will.
Yeah, no, mrekk might be the last player on Earth you think of having a brain fart. Yeah, into this last little intense section, mrekk still with his 1200 combo. The score lead up at 85K and shooting up rapidly.
Players get to this very tough end section. Nobody's breaking. These are two amazing scores as we get to the final wiggles. mrekk will break, however, criller will hold.
Hitting the wiggles. He hit the ending. This is the first player to have FC'd the ending, and it's not going to be enough because mrekk did too much before, and it's 845K for the Australian, taking the map, going up 4-0 against criller.
Dude, these are two amazing players, but just the start miss. It's one miss, two misses. Like, these define any of these maps. Criller has a chance, has like a chance on every single one of his picks. However, it just comes down to one miss at the section that's like slightly less tough, and he finds a miss, an unfortunate miss, and mrekk builds the combo, and with that early combo, he just maintains a lead, and with that lead, it's just like managed throughout the rest of the map. It doesn't matter if criller hits the hard part. If the hard part isn't on like a very specific section of the map, mrekk is gonna get enough combo before that to just surpass him. So it looks really bad for criller right now, but he's playing absolutely out of his mind.
Yeah, just playing great, but mrekk is playing mrekk, and not too many people are able to play mrekk like that.
Maybe only Chu. However, right now, mrekk's picks are a little bit more dire. Since we are done with the DT pool, he doesn't have those quote-unquote freebies, especially not DT Chu and any maps like that. What I reckon is you're going to pick something like Nomad 1 or Hard Rock 1, something that's a little bit more mechanics intensive, because criller really wants to pick the other one, so you know these are going to like come around pretty soon. As I believe the pick is in.
As we wait for it to update on our screen, criller in a dire position now, can't afford to lose two more maps. One more loss will bring mrekk to match point.
I will spoil it. The pick seems to be Hard Rock 1 by mrekk. So Fickle Souls by Raikkonen, a very tough technical map, but also very mechanics intensive. So this is the kind of map that is starting to be more contested. mrekk's picks are starting to be more 50-50. Even though he's still favored, he will have to struggle.
Must-win territory now for criller, and this is the type of thing where he can put up a very good fight. It's tech, it's sliders, it's a lot of aim, but other skill sets are those which can be won by him. So just see how this one goes. Right now, momentum just so heavily in favor of mrekk.
As both players have loaded into the map, and it's Hard Rock 1 Fickle Souls. So far, so good. criller still holding very good accuracy through the early sections, has adapted pretty well. mrekk on the 1 or 200s as well. So both players getting their right foot on the map pretty early, as nobody finds any early breaks. A couple of 50s from criller, however, mrekk will find the first break. That is good if you're German.
criller just going crazy right now in the first quarter of this map, still holding on to his FC, a slight accuracy lead for mrekk, but the combo has given criller about a 25k lead, and he gets through that first KI section, so looking very good now for criller as long as he can manage to hold on through this easier section before we get into the next drop. And he gets into the streams, it's a lot of free score.
Free score, and he doesn't get the act drops. Many players have been seeing the act drops. However, he will miss a kick slider, and mrekk has the combo lead now. However, he will break. So he trades right back, and criller has the early lead and a slight accuracy deficit. However, the combo early on, now that it's over half the map, the combo will carry him forward as both players find trades all over the place. This is a very hard map, but the technical aspect of the map really did favor criller. He found some miss on the mechanics on the aim, however, mrekk showing a little bit of a kink in his arm.
Yep, we're making it into the ending here, and criller looks to finally have found a dent in the armor, plays a foothold to finally get himself into this match. 97, almost 98%. He's playing with a deficit, but the combo has been king on this one. 50k in the lead. He's going to run into the ending, and he's looking so good.
They both don't have combo. I believe this might be criller's first point, and it will come as a break point.
And there it is. criller gets on the board, a break point.
As the Germans go wild in the crowd, and everybody rooting for the underdog will also be very happy based on that. As you see criller's face there, relieved that he's finally got a point on the board.
He finally claws one back, and now he'll be able to hopefully play with that momentum. He's still got picks in the pool, as we've said. Maps like the Hard Rock 2, maps like the Nomad 4 First Death, or Nomad 3, sorry, First Death, because he has that protected, and he has a really good score on that from his previous match, so could expect him to use that momentum and go there.
Think about it. So if we assume every map is a 50-50, he just have to call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 50-50s correctly. So every coin flip, he has a 50 shot. So let's see if he actually manages to do it. As we have
there
the
it
pick.
is.
The pick is in. First Death, one of the most popular maps we have seen so far in the tournament, and a very, very big crowd favorite, because this map has some early combo break potential, but if things are tied, then going into the hard section at the end after the solo, or in the solo I should say, that gets a lot of people's nerves really flaring up. People haven't hit that yet. I believe nobody's held combo through that section, but it's always a possibility.
We've seen people combo through it, I think a single time. I don't remember who exactly did. It might have been, it was either Fancy or Secret Box. I don't remember. However, here we go. First Death.
Both
Map by
players
Aishteru.
have loaded in as we have the little funny round circle loading for criller, and he gets into the map.
Here we go. This high BPM ult. Very difficult snap aim, very difficult flow aim as well in certain sections. It's a map that feels like it plays to both players' strengths in some aspects. But it's all going to come down to the choruses. Who can manage to hold through those? Who can maybe get through the hard part?
So far, mrekk finding the early break, but criller is still faultless, as both players will miss, actually. Sorry, the script got a little bit early, but this is supposed to be the easier combo section. People should, if they're trying to win this map, they should combo through the first guy and build on this easier combo. But Both players are tied. The lead is slightly Kriller's favor, but mrekk will find a break, so Criller will only run away further.
Yep, taking a little time to adjust to this one. Criller playing with a bit of a lead here, but at an accuracy deficit compared to mrekk, and he finds a break on that wiggle. So now mrekk is going to start reeling in this lead slowly but surely. Still 8K in favor of Criller, though, and if mrekk finds a drop, he will snag it right back.
He has around 100 combos lead, but both players have been getting through the end of this guy pretty competently. As we head into the next verse, let's see if both players hold through this slightly tougher
Oh, they
section.
miss
If
on the same pattern.
Break. The lead is almost completely tied, single or triple digits on the lead there for mrekk, but the ACK lead, crucially, is his.
Yeah, and the accuracy, as we've seen this weekend, it means so much in Laser. You can't afford to just go for the combo game like you can in Score V2 on Stable. You have to make sure you're in the lead in terms of accuracy because it just does so much for your score. As we see right now, it's giving mrekk the lead just slightly. But we're about to get into that next chorus section, and combo is going to start to matter a lot more, but Criller goes down.
And as we head into the next chorus, mrekk has the overwhelming combo lead. He's not looking to break, and it might not come down to that very hard section in the solo. He's still holding through this chorus, and Criller, while he has a recovery combo, needs mrekk to break immediately if he wants to get back in this match.
Yeah, just a really tough position right now for Criller because mrekk is going to get through it. He's going to milk some of this free combo. His score is going to skyrocket. 35K and climbing score in the lead for him.
As we're heading into that solo section, that very dreaded section full of flow aim and control, and that's tripped so many players up before. As soon as you see sliders pointing up, that's when we start.
Here we go.
Break so far. Nobody finding a break on the wiggle. However,
they're holding.
They're both holding. mrekk will find a break. Criller is still holding.
Look at Criller. Look at Criller. He gets through. But he's still got some difficult patterning to go. He's not out of the woods just yet. He has to hit this, but he doesn't. He goes down going into the last Ki.
The very end pattern of the solo trips him up, so he won't actually have the chance to claw the lead back.
Yeah, and mrekk with the ACK in tow, with the combo even, he's looking to take one more critical break point to go up 5-1 against his rival.
And again, it's match point and it's mrekk's pick. So if you're mrekk, that's 4 match points you have.
Yeah, just overwhelming. 99%. Almost 700K on first death, and it is going to be the #1 player taking the break point, going up to match point. And now back up against the wall with mrekk's pick to come.
This is interesting because mrekk hasn't played every single map on this tournament, and I believe some of the maps that are open might be maps that he wants to keep hidden for later. So do you risk getting that advantage in strategy for later matches, or do you just want to finish this once and for all and potentially pick one of them?
Yeah, it's a bit of strategy there. We saw Neneric do that in round of 16. He protected Super Nuka World and then saved it for his match against Malashevsky.
Let us see. I believe the pick is not yet in, so we will see what he chooses. We'll see if Nomad 1 is what he opts to go for to try to close the match out, or if it's something like Hidden 1. All the other maps, Nomad 4 and Hard Rock 2, we discussed this. These are probably maps Criller is interested in, so I don't think we're going to be seeing either of those. However, Nomad 4 is technically mrekk's best score. Like, mrekk is the top scorer on that map, so he could potentially opt for it. Hard Rock 2 is going to be the option.
We return to Gengaozo, Foon. Oh boy.
Very, very interesting, as a very similar map in style. Nomad 5 was picked by Criller and was won by mrekk as his first pick. So potentially that might be influencing the decision. However, what crucially this map lacks that Nomad 5 didn't was finger control and fast bursts to actually go along with it. This is, by all accounts, an aim control map where you're just constantly streaming that 153 BPM. Criller will find an early break getting into the map, so mrekk will have that early lead. However, the accuracy is not very good. Maybe a little bit, not necessarily nervous, but full of adrenaline, overstreaming a little bit, but still getting used to the map.
Yeah, this map takes a little bit of adjustments. It really doesn't stop for the whole map. For some, it could be a stamina map, but probably not for these two players.
Absolutely not.
And you see, about to get into the double section. Very easy to trip up and just not snap far enough for a note here and find a break.
This map is the definition of tension. The song is very ominous, and what a perfect song to potentially end this match on.
Yeah, well, hopefully not for Criller, because this type of map he's very strong on. He has the accuracy advantage. If mrekk does find a break, he will immediately take a score lead back. We get into another intense section here with a lot of snap patterns. These doubles are really easy to just miss-snap a little bit and find an unfortunate break. And it's very important for these players to hold here because they do have a slow part to make use of if they can get through this.
Both players are still holding. The difference only being Kriller's early combo break. Criller has a little bit more cheese on those patterns. Double tapping, getting hundreds,
but he gets
still
through.
Holding. Both players still holding, having amazing combos in this slow section. It only gets harder from here. We're going to go from just cut doubles and cut quads into just single note snaps. And those have tripped up so many players in this tournament so far. So either miss. If either of these players miss, it is very, very easy for the other player to just overtake and run away with the lead.
And here we go into the intense section. The snap aim gets really difficult here. Whoever breaks is going to immediately cede the lead over to the opponent. Does Criller have it in him to survive? As mrekk finds a break, he has to hold a little longer. He has the accuracy lead, so they let the combo take over, and the score lead goes 5K in favor of Criller and climbing, and he is just going crazy through this aim control section, hitting all the doubles. Can he get through it? Can he get back to the cut streams where it's a little more comfortable? If he does, this pick is just about guaranteed.
He's still holding combo. The combo is so good. We've seen Rectigon do these before, where he had an early miss, but still he comboed through the end.
He got through!
And he's still getting the combo. He's still holding it. And that's the end chorus, the only thing he has left. And those are the doubles again, and he can cheese them if he wants.
He saw Rectigon's reverse choke, and he said, I can do that too, but he finds the drop right before the ending, but nonetheless, it's going to be enough. The score lead is dropping very quickly, but mrekk drops, and Criller stays alive. He breathes the fresh air, the sigh of relief. He gets to play his own pick once again.
The end of that map must have been so many nerves on Criller in the land setting, holding amazing combo with an amazing score on this very tough Gengaozo Fun pick. And crucially, that is a breakpoint for mrekk, or a breakpoint for Criller, and Criller has the next pick. He has the choice of what map he's going to bet his tournament life on. Are we going to see the Nomad 4? Are we going to see the Hidden 1 potentially? Because Nomad 1, probably not his first choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Hidden 1, a very, very hard, tough aim control pick, but again, you're dealing with mrekk, one of the best, if not the best aim player of all time. And Criller is extremely good at hidden, extremely good at aim, extremely good at aim control. However, Nomad 4 is still open.
Yeah.
And Nomad 4 has a similar sort of debacle where Criller, in theory, the map is perfect for him, but mrekk has the top score on it.
And it is going to be the Nomad 4. Criller has to win all three of these remaining maps if he wants to force the tiebreaker. He has to win Nomad 4, Nomad 1, and Hidden 1. And between two aim maps and a tech pick, all pretty grim looking at mrekk's skill set and scores. But you have to start somewhere. You need a miracle, and you may as well start on a skill set that's more comfortable for you in this comeback to get some momentum. We're on Nomad 4 Signal, mapped by Azrok and Ishtiak. This is slider aim, tech, some aim control, kind of flow aim stuff in there as well, but what this map it really depends on are those slider patterns, those 1/3 slider snaps. You almost play them like a stream, like a slow stream.
If you're at home, everybody that's actually watching, go into the editor or like just try that little section of 1/3. It looks much easier than it actually is because everybody in this tournament without exception, has been missing on it. Like, it looks so simple, but it actually really isn't. As we head into the map, so far, so good for both players, getting adapted to that tech element, those tech elements, and the accuracy is still very good. This map is very condensed, very short. We're going to see that first drop, and then we're going to see a second drop of all those 1/3. And that's going to be the real sticking point of the map.
Yep, and it is just so intense. The first 350 combo or so, you don't have too much difficulty. I mean, this is still very difficult, but it's nothing like the slider 1/3, and that's really when they start to come in. And it looks like both players so poised through this beginning section. Still holding FCs, but here we go into this breakdown. 1/3 are coming.
The lead does not matter. All that matters is the combo. Can you hold the combo through these drops? Very, very
Here we
difficult.
go. That's the first one. Both players get through it. There's a flow aim one coming up after that we've seen people miss on without exception.
Let's see it right here as Criller's camera dies. However,
They both
they
get through
both
it.
hit
They
the
both hit it.
1/3s. They're both holding through it. One player missing means the world to the other, as Criller has his tournament life on the line through this last drop of the song. Both players are still holding the combo. Criller has the act deficit and the combo deficit through the slider ends. However, they are both holding through this amazingly hard beat map here, and they're still both holding, man.
Two-way FC into the ending of the map. We haven't seen a single FC this tournament, and we have a two-way going into the ending, and it is a two-way FC on this because there's no map left. A two-way FC, but Criller losing the act battle, not getting enough slider ends. There's not map left. There's nothing left.
What the fuck, dude? UFC and you lose on the main stage, the grandest stage
The
of them all.
first two FCs in the tournament, and you can't win off an act battle. It's gonna be mrekk taking the match, winning 6-2. And what a heartbreaking way to go out for Criller on the FC. It's not enough. mrekk reigns supreme.
That is crazy. The person who was favored on the map in theory getting the FC, but again, the other guy had the best score. He had the better score, so he FC'd better. What the hell, man?
That's just unbelievable. That is just oh my god. mrekk is going to be our final player to go into the semifinals. He will be going up against, I believe, Rectigon tomorrow.
Right before this, before we finish off this segment and this match, we have a special guest announcement from a certain someone.
Yep, we'll hand the microphone over to our special guest over here.
You might know him as Okinamo.
What? No, who is
Hello,
this guy?
guys. I have a special announcement to make. Criller, can you step up?
Okinamo, get the mic closer to your mouth.
Yeah. Criller, I think you're an incredible person, not just as a player, but as a human being. We've spent a lot of time in the last few years together. We have happy and we've had sad moments, but ultimately, I feel nice being with you. You might have lost your match today, but you're never gonna lose a place in my heart. Criller, do you want to marry me? Yes!
Woo!
I don't know. What is real? What is it? All right.
Okay, so now there's one more announcement to make. So the COE 2025 group photo will be occurring at 15 local time tomorrow. So be there for that. Make sure you're here. We'll announce the location of it. Just make sure you're at the venue at 15 tomorrow, and we'll be in the picture. It'll be great. But until then, that is it for our quarterfinal. It is mrekk to take the victory and go on to the semifinals, which will be on tomorrow. So be sure to be there because we have got an incredible day of matches ahead of us between Rectigon, mrekk, Secret Box,
All right.
and quarterfinal stats are available on the sheet, and Malashevsky's there as well. I didn't say his name.
All right, that's been a very swell cast from you, and I think we will have the honor of closing out the standard proceedings for today. So tune in tomorrow. Have a good night. Everyone who's in Brabanthallen, thank you so much for attending. Everyone who's at home, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.